Hey guys, Brad McCraw, CEO, Executive Producer, Mosaic Pro Events. We are shooting a podcast, The Crew Call, here on site at the Foursquare event. Getting a little exciting. We're going to try to shoot these at events as we do these events. So we'll bring the crew, since we have a whole crew with us at these events. We're going to shoot on site at this event. So right now we're in Denver, Colorado for the Foursquare denominational event, which is just an amazing event, amazing people. And since we had everybody here, we're going to shoot a couple episodes tonight. So we're going to start with a fun one that I titled Production Chicks. If you're in the production world, that's kind of a thing. So my little subtitle here was, we take a look into the girls who work in primarily male-driven industry and discuss what that looks like to them and how they have risen to become powerhouse women in them. So I'm going to start off. I'm going to let them introduce themselves and just tell us what you do in this industry, and then we'll kind of go from there. So I'll start to my right. This is Jennie. Go ahead.
I'm Jennie. I am stage manager on show, lead stage manager, and in the office, I am client relations.
Go ahead.
I am Sonya, and I am all the things. I am a stage manager, production manager.
Horse trainer.
Horse trainer, yep.
That's her side gig. Well, this might see her side gig.
Yeah.
That might mean your
Depends on
main
what time
gig.
of the year, which
Yeah,
is the
exactly.
side gig.
Yeah.
Yeah. But a little bit of everything. So Jill of all trades asked me to do it, and I'll do it. Willing to help out everywhere. So mainly stage manager.
Yeah. I'm Ashlyn, and I am in charge of hospitality. And
I love that Ashley gets always like caught up on her own title.
I know.
Like, what do I do for a
because
living?
I kind of do all the things.
Yeah, this is the same
Anything,
thing.
yeah.
You train horses, but the crew is your horses.
She gets her whip out.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. That's me.
Hi, I'm
Abril had 2 shots before this started, so it could go sideways.
I forgot my name. I'm Abril or April. I'm usually.
Wait, say that again.
You've never
Have we ever heard you say your own name?
I don't think
It's
so.
so fancy.
It's Abril, but if you can't say it, Abril.
There's no
April.
chance I'm going to say it that way.
Yeah, you have to roll your R's. But usually on Mosaic gigs, I'm usually a media server operator, usually a video lead, video engineer specializing in high-res switchers.
She's the bomb. Let's just say it.
Start there.
Gosh, she's awesome.
Yeah, you're pretty great. You're amazing. I'm Alyssa, and on show I am a stage manager with Jennie and Sonya, and then in the office I am the director of administration for Mosaic.
Awesome. I've got some questions here before I get started on the questions. Obviously, like I said, this is a primarily male-driven industry. If you're in the event industry, hope that's what you're watching. We've got clients watching. It's industry professionals watching and listening. If you're in the event industry, you know females are a rarity. There's certain roles that females fill, but they're kind of a rarity in our industry. I'd say it's probably 97% male. But Mosaic, we're definitely different. We have a large cast of females. For me, it's cool. I've always been kind of empowering the female. I actually have on this one panel, I have my wife, who's next to me, is a female, and which is awesome that I get to work alongside her. But I also have the very first female I hired in the industry, Sonya Brewer, right next to her, who's been by my side for now 16 years, probably.
Yeah, going on 17.
Yeah. So
Your longest relationship?
yeah. So females in the production industry have always been a thing for me, starting with Sonya, who we work together in many different capacities, in ministry, in production, and then here at Mosaic. So yeah, it's kind of a cool dynamic to have production chicks that have always been around me and supported me in this industry and always done an amazing job. Producer Jeff, who's behind the camera, he kind of submits some questions for us to get conversation starters. So I'm just going to go right off the bat. What got you into the production world? We know Sonya, it wasn't me. But the first question, what drew you into the production world? Like, what got you started in this industry? What drew you to the industry? Just rattle off like what's the origin story to even get you as a female into the production industry?
You want me to answer that first?
I want everybody to answer it, so it doesn't have to be in order.
I think Alyssa has a great answer. I think Alyssa should.
Yeah, go ahead, Alyssa. What's your thoughts?
Mine was a surprise.
It was a surprise.
It was a huge surprise, and I didn't know what I
Tell the
was
story,
doing.
yeah.
Okay,
We
so
got time.
long story short, not really. I became friends with my husband, and I became friends with Brad and Jennie, and then we started talking
Knew
about
nothing about the industry.
Knew nothing, absolutely nothing. I was working at a church and just doing admin stuff. And then by that point, they were like, hey, you know, we need some help with the show. Do you want to come like check it out? And I said, yeah, absolutely. I have no idea like what I'm doing. I'm happy to pass out some water bottles and make sure people are loved. And then I get there
No.
and I'm like, what did I say yes to? I don't know what I said yes to. And then Jennie's like, oh yeah, by the way, show's starting and you're going to stage manage and send people on and off stage. And I had
So
no
first,
idea.
First question, what does stage manage mean?
Yeah, what is that? What is gaff tape?
What?
What is a comm? What is... I think I had Doc Martens because I didn't have any black
Awful,
shoes,
yeah.
and I was on
And
my feet
concrete.
for 14 hours, and I was like, I don't know what I said yes to, but it's a hell of a lot fun. So it was a huge surprise, and then I was like, you know what? I could do this for the rest of my life. Like, I continued working at church, and the Lord closed the door, and I came on staff at Mosaic. So it's been the best year of my life.
Yeah, it's
So-
awesome.
We love
Yeah.
having her a part.
It was
It
great.
was, yeah. We,
It was a surprise.
we had a hole that needed filled. We already knew Alyssa was a powerhouse woman. We had a hole at Mosaic that we needed an administrative. And it was just it was a quick question between me and Robert and Isley, like, hey, I've got this girl who I think would just kill it. And I think that night I gave you a call. And
Yeah, you
the
did.
next day you were like, all right, I'm
Yeah,
in.
I'm in.
And here we are.
Sign me
Yeah.
up.
She also
Yeah.
spent hours trying to find the stupidest things for us, like a whiteboard.
Yes,
And-
I
was the
did.
first gig,
That
yeah.
was the first thing.
By the way,
Find me a
call
whiteboard.
every company in the city.
I need a
pretty
whiteboard by
standard.
the end
Yeah.
of tonight. I was like, you know what? I did
And it
this
hasn't
for...
ended. This week
No, it
we were
has not.
driving a truck through Denver, chasing bar stools in the rain.
Yeah, yeah, and
So-
TVs.
So getting the crazy stuff is
Yeah,
not...
and my
it's
husband
just
got to
part of what we do.
experience it with me, so I wasn't
is
by
great.
myself. So
Yeah.
he got to see what my job was.
That's great.
Who else? Let's see. What
I-
drew you into the production world?
Abril. I think Abril should answer. I don't know if I know this story, so I would love to
Okay.
hear it.
So, being born and raised in Vegas, you're kind of surrounded by it all the time. So, I always had like an interest growing up. And then I filled in a very last minute camera job. And it was actually for Jay Leno. And
But
I
how?
didn't know that.
How,
Like,
what,
yeah, how
like
did
what
you
even
get
led
that?
to that fill-in?
The person double booked themselves. So, they were like, hey, I'm going to
But
ask.
why were you the call?
They knew me. They
That's
were
amazing.
like, "Oh, you're smart. So here, let me show you how to set up a camera, strike it, set it up. Okay, follow me. I'm gonna run around.
That's
All
so
right, keep
great.
me in frame." And sure enough, I went on the gig, and I was nervous as heck.
How
but
old were you?
I was 20.
It was for
Wow.
a Jay Leno live show? Like he was
No.
doing it in the
It was just like a private event, but I was
Ah.
the sole camera person.
Oh,
I was
gosh.
the only camera
No pressure.
person.
Oh,
pressure.
gosh.
No pressure.
Yeah, but then I was hooked after that, and then I found my niche.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I've got a funny Jay Leno story.
crazy.
That's about me, not at ladies. I used to, early in the industry, I would camera switch and the camera ops. So I was a backstage camera switcher, which we all know what that is. And the camera ops 1 and 2, my dad used to do some stuff with me as a camera ops. This is way back in my 20s. And he was camera 2, which was the wide shot. And he's like 30 minutes into the show. I've stayed on the wide shot the whole shot. And he's like, man, I must be doing a really good job. Little did he know I had fallen fast asleep at the camera switcher. I was on camera 2 because I was just fast asleep at the camera switcher. And he just thought he was doing such a great job that I just never switched to camera 1.
Oh my god.
Nope, I was just snoring in the backstage. Yeah.
That
For
sounds-
Jay Leno.
that
Yeah.
sounds
So
right.
you tracked Jay Leno for 30 minutes because I was asleep. Sorry. Little sidewinder there. Go ahead, Ashlyn.
Actually, so producer Jeff
Producer
got
Jeff,
me into
behind the
production. Yep. I was going to school for.
They're married. Yeah.
Yes.
Her and producer
yes,
Jeff.
Yes, yes. I was going to school to be in the medical field, and
Okay.
then I met Jeff at church, and I just kind of adapted to his whole lifestyle.
Yeah,
A big
yeah.
event happened that we went on together when we got married, and that's kind of how I got into it. And then I got to meet you guys through that because he knew you guys from that, and
Yeah. So what was your first show with us?
Women's?
it was
Question
before
mark?
that.
Was
it?
Yeah, because there was like a ADF and
You were just supporting, but it was.
I was cam
social-
op.
You were.
I was a cam op for you guys for a few shows, right?
Interesting.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
We don't
I
even know.
Good job. I mean, you did such a good job.
That's how I got to
They
know.
didn't know you were there.
I know.
Yeah.
That's how I got to know
That's not
Joey.
a bad thing.
Actually, so that's how I got to there was a couple different, I feel like,
Okay.
roles that I've done, but I got to know, everybody on the team, and then
Okay.
led me here. Now I'm on staff, and it's amazing, and I love it.
Love it, Sonya.
So good.
Let's burn through this quick so we get more questions.
I was working at a church,
We
large
just
church in
asked you to be
Phoenix.
quick, by the way.
Yeah, it's
Hilarious.
Never happened.
Wrong person.
Hilarious.
And I was working in another position at the church, and I started volunteering. That was back in the day when we used to build all these crazy stage sets.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I thought, well, I like doing artsy things. I'll get in there. And then I just started volunteering. And then it was like, hey, do you want to switch over to the media crew and to our department? Because I started asking them questions like, hey, how do I turn on the mics? How do I do
Yeah,
this
yeah.
in our ballrooms? And we got there. And then trial by fire, I started learning lighting. And then our lighting guy went MIA. And I was the only one that knew
Lighting
how to
guys, huh? Lighting guys.
I'm the only one that knew how to run the board, and I was the LD, and then just went from there.
Awesome.
And we worked together in a bunch of different
Here we are.
places.
Here we are.
17 years later.
Go ahead, dear.
Okay. Well, mine started in video production. That's where I started in ministry, over kids ministry.
In front of the camera.
In front of the camera, yep. So I did all content for kids and did video production there. And then I stage managed for you when you did Easter at the stadium for the church. And then it just kind of snowballed from there.
Well, you marry production guys, Ashlyn. You just end up in the industry.
Yeah.
Kind of how it works.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then,
Awesome.
Awesome.
This question, I love this question that producer Jeff, this is a good one. And I think you all have unique strengths. So what's a unique strength do women bring to this industry that's primarily male driven? Besides empathy, compassion, love.
I was going to say
I was
that's.
gonna say
Yeah,
nurture. They take care of
I think we're determined. Like,
Yeah.
we're going to...
Okay, that's
Like,
great.
we're
yeah.
very determined to make it happen. And if you give us a challenge, we're going to push through it and find a way.
Yeah.
Problem solving through things.
I mean, I would say Ashlyn is the primary example of what I think females bring to the industry is just the compassion, the love, the care. Ashlyn's role at Mosaic, which I encourage other production companies to hire this role because it's so integral to what we do and how we do things for our culture. Ashlyn's role is literally just hospitality to keep our crew fed, happy, like you name it, hotel rooms, like just hospitality. And that's, nothing against men, but I could never do that role. I'm a man. So I think that's such a huge, unique strength that women bring to this industry. But yeah, what else do you think?
I think we're great multitaskers.
I was just
I
gonna
want
say
to
the same
piggyback with Sonya. Like, you give us a task, and
Yeah.
we're going to be determined.
Which is great because this industry is riddled with multitasking.
Absolutely.
Yeah, every minute
Find
is a multitask.
solution for the problem.
Yeah.
And I think we're like beyond the compassion and stuff. Where a lot of women, not all, are really good with people, making people feel comfortable, whether it's
Yeah.
with a client or a speaker or whatever it may be. We're going to engage with them. And
That's true. I mean, we use primarily females for stage managers. Jennie's kind of the primary, but there's a lot of reasons behind that, but a lot of it is because of that, like that gentle touch, the interaction. These people are super nervous when they're coming out to speak.
Yep.
So it's like, it's a soft touch before they get on stage, and it's been super successful for us. And
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything?
No, I would just say, like Abril was saying, multitasking. Like,
Yeah, it's great.
women can just multitask and have lots of things
Right.
going on in their brain at one time and know how to like
Always.
trigger all the things to make things happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
They can do a 9 to 5 while breastfeeding.
Yes, yes, and pumping at the same
And
time.
yeah, it's
Yes.
amazing.
in there. In there.
All of the things.
all the things at once.
Yep.
Here's a great one. Any advice for other women thinking about getting into the industry? I'm sure it's super intimidating, like when you hear about production or if you've been around it or if your husband's in it or, man, I can't imagine getting in that world. It looks like such hard work. It looks like it's clearly male driven. I think that's a great question. So any advice for other women thinking about getting in the industry?
Yeah, Abril, it's probably been the hardest for you in your role, I think, because I think your role is very heavily
Extremely.
male. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
So what would
highly
what would
qualified,
you say?
highly trained.
I mean, and I say this a lot. It's mostly attitude. It's mostly that can-do attitude, and I think that just applies for both men and women and everything. It's just that like super can-do.
The confidence.
attitude. The confidence and everything. I mean, I've gotten pushback when I've shown up to show side and people are like, "Oh, you're a girl,"
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it can be it can be confusing with my name.
Yeah. Well, she's tiny. She's a smoking hot babe, and she's a girl. So of course, men are going to be like,
of course.
They're like,
Unfortunately, yeah.
like, do you know what you're doing? And I've had that before, but I just hone in, I focus, and attitude, that can-do attitude, just getting the job done. And then, I mean, honestly, it seems a lot harder than what it really is. And then, I mean, this industry is so small, though. Once you do a good job, like,
Which is
word
great.
spreads.
Yeah.
then
I
people
think-
just know.
Yep.
Yeah.
The mindset is really key into like not coming in already a victim.
Yeah.
is
Right.
really key.
For sure.
million
For sure.
Because a lot of women in whatever industry go in thinking like, well, they're already going to judge me because I'm a woman. If
Yep.
you go in and do your job, nobody like that goes
gonna
away, and the few
Yeah.
jerks around there, they get pushed off, and other people start supporting you and pushing
Yeah.
you through
Yeah.
because you're willing. And here's the thing: don't be afraid to be a woman either. Like, it's okay to ask for help,
Yep.
but it's also okay to be strong.
Yeah, for
Right.
sure.
And be willing, if you're going to be in this industry, be willing to learn and do the hard work.
Yep.
Be willing to do things out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Be willing to ask questions, learn it.
And don't settle. Like
Yeah.
I would think some females are probably intimidated, so they'll be like, oh, maybe I can get an admin job on there. Like
No.
obviously we've proved that wrong just on this panel. Like it's all scales and spectrums of expertise and roles. Like there's no, there's the sky's the limit. Like I think you can do anything in this industry as a female, but
For
I think
sure.
the natural is like, oh, it's male driven. Maybe I can just get in at the bottom level, or they're not going to train me. Like, don't settle.
And you don't have to. Back in the day when there was even less of us, I would see women come in and try to be and look and act like the guys.
right.
Yeah,
You don't have to do
You don't
that.
have to
Be
do that,
one of the
yeah.
dudes.
And
Yeah.
actually, you get more respect for not doing that. Doesn't mean you can't hang out and have fun.
Like you said,
do all
just be a
those
woman.
things. Yeah,
Like you don't
be a
have to.
woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to be butch to.
No, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, but that's what expected, I think. Yeah.
But don't be
Yeah.
a wimp either. Like
But don't be a wimp. Yeah.
Right.
Stand up for
yeah,
yourself.
have
Walk in
extremely
with
tough,
confidence.
tough skin.
Yep.
for
Don't be
sure.
afraid to ask questions. Like, just dive in.
Yeah.
Which, I think, I mean, obviously it's more intimidating, but especially in a male-driven world. But kudos to you all. Let's see. How do you, on that kind of same thing, that same thread, how do you handle moments when you are underestimated?
Anyone?
Mine is my go-to is when I start getting that pushback from me. I just, not that I get quiet, I just get serious. I get tunnel vision. I just do my job and everything. You kind of lost my personality privileges.
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Exactly.
And then towards the end of the gig, they're like, "Oh, okay, you know what you're doing." So yeah, and then by the end of the week, they're like,
I mean,
"Oh my
we
gosh."
talk about that with you. Obviously, the first shows you come into our world, we now know and love you. We know and love you then, but like to see you come from your first show to where you are now, where you're just obviously part of the family. We love you so much. It's full personality.
Yeah.
So I get that. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sometimes actually the weird part is it can be more intimidating when there's another woman on the show.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because
Oh, for sure.
There's
Yeah, why is that?
competition.
Because of that?
Because
it's
you're
so narrow?
trying to prove yourself, right? And then
Yeah, that's interesting.
If you've been in the industry a while, like several of us have here, you are already buddies with a lot of people. You already know people.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like a new person coming in or someone you haven't met yet, you are unsure. And you're like, who is this? Is she going to be a
Yeah.
Right.
naughty word person? Or like, you know what I mean? Like, and are they going to do their job? Because another woman can make us look bad. Like
Yeah.
if she's not determined and she's not doing that, it makes us
Sure,
look bad.
sure.
So I think it's really important for the women to support the other women, and
Right,
accept them
for
in,
sure.
and,
Yeah,
and
that's a
teach
good.
them.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good point. That's
Yep.
a good point. We've seen some pretty powerhouse women over the years in this industry that I mean they can run with anybody from the best A1s to LDs to it's awesome. So hopefully that's not a thing, and obviously it's not a thing at Mosaic. Hope
No,
everybody feels
not at
that
all.
way.
We're all family.
We're about out of time, but just real quick, we'll just go down the line. What's one thing you would tell your younger self walking into their first show? This is your first show, your younger self. What would you tell that person, that young lady?
I
Just
would
go down the line. To wrap
I
it
would
up.
just say confidence. It's all about your confidence.
Confidence.
Shoulders back, head up. Go
Yep.
crush that
Just
room.
take it.
Yep.
Attitude and just have a willingness to do whatever needs to be done, even if it's outside of your job description.
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
jump in.
That's crucial for this industry and as a whole, male and
Not about
female.
one spot.
Right.
Just jump all the
Yep,
way in.
absolutely.
I'd probably just say relax and focus and like
And comfy shoes. Get
Comfy
Hey,
shoes.
girl, get comfy shoes. Ashlyn's
walking.
been doing about 20,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So you tell your younger self, get those comfy shoes.
shoes.
Yep.
I would tell my younger self and any other younger girl,
Yeah.
be teachable.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
Teachable.
Yep.
That's a good
That's
one.
critical.
I would say be excited because you get to buy a lot more black clothes.
Yeah.
But also,
Which is always slimming, right? That's a
Yeah,
thing.
it's just
You always look
my
good.
favorite color. But then also just to know your worth and know your value and
yeah.
know like what you get to put
Bring to
in,
the
and also be able to pour out as well.
And the rewards. I mean,
Yeah.
this is the only industry I've ever been in my whole life, but I mean, it's a pretty amazing industry to me. Like, you get to meet amazing people. I mean, it pays well. Like, you get to go to amazing places. Like,
Yeah.
there's some really cool things that
always-
you get to be a part of.
I always say that I feel this way. I found the cheat code in life. Like
Yeah, right?
I love what I do. I love who I work around with,
Yep.
the cities, the shows that I get
Right.
to work. Like I found a cheat
I
code.
imagine working in a cubicle 9
I
to
love
5,
that
Monday
so
through
much.
Friday. Like, no, I couldn't do it. So
And you
there's
end
a
up
lot of
having
rewards.
family.
Yeah.
And you have family, yeah.
Yep, everywhere.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, ladies. This has been fun and went by quick. Yeah, we're excited. So follow along the Crew Call Pod. We're going to have more episodes like this. So just want to thank the ladies for joining me tonight. And stay tuned. We'll see you soon.